Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I laugh because it's fake laughter. So joining me today on this program, we've got Terry of Marvel fame, and we've got Dave. You may remember Dave from Falcon Blues, but also Grand Old Team, and also just being just kind of a great blue. So, guys, welcome again. It's good to see both of you.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, you too.
Terry, I appreciate you pausing and letting him speak first because I prompted both of you to talk at the same time. I'm a genius! I like to see if it syncs up, turns into... Yeah, anyway. I can't even... I'm trying to make this fun for myself, and it's not... So this is what we've got here, folks. We got an extra time segment talking about the whatever that was on Sunday. Spoiler... So if you recorded the match and you want to put yourself through that, it's a spoiler. Here's what's coming. Leicester 2-1 over Everton. Very late winner from Iheanacho. So I'm gonna let Dave start with this, just because I know what Terry's gonna say. No, just it's been longer since Dave's been here. So Dave, we got a little bit of a kind of a surprise, but when you think about who we have injury-wise, it's not as surprising. Terry will claim up and down that he called it like a year ago. But, so formation and player selection, what were you thinking when you saw that lineup come out of Everton on the Twitter?
To be honest, I was a bit more confident. It looked, it was a change that was needed within the side. Looking at it was defensive. But it also, you saw where he was trying to nullify the attack and get, where Leicester will attack us on the break and they'll hit you fast and hard. And that seemed to go in our favour for a while. We seemed to just do exactly what was needed. And it was weird because I put a tweet out at one point, and only because I saw the team selection, and I literally saw it on Twitter, and I was just watching the game and I was like, has Keane actually touched the ball? And then I realised it was Michael Keane. So, I was thinking, Moise Keane, shit, he hasn't fucking done anything. And it was like, oh, it's Michael Keane, and that's why we're playing nearly 5 at the back. Okay, things were starting to tick. Things were starting to tick over, and then I was just trying to. It'd been a long day. In the end, though, I thought we had spells where we played well because of the formation that we put in. Second half seemed to, I think, maybe fatigue got a little bit on top of us. But again, even with all that, it's still silly substitutions, the wrong substitutions, and just players switching off again that has just caused our downfall. That and the fact that we've done about a time waste. We are absolutely incapable of time wasting. So that's it's a bitter pill to swallow because we played well, but you knew we weren't the ones who were going to score a second goal for all the hustle and for all the pushing that we actually tried to do. The final third just let us down once again. So I don't know. It's back to square one again. Where do we go from here, sort of thing. He's tried a different formation. It's worked. It's not worked. Does he stick with it and try something else? Does he, or try something else, or does he stick with it for Wednesday? It's. I would not want to be the manager of Everton right now.
That's a pretty good statement there. I'd say that works. Terry, when you saw the possibility of them running with like 3/5 at the back, depends on if we're on attack or defending. Confidence-wise, did that bring you up a little bit, or did your stomach kind of drop and you're thinking, oh hell?
Yeah, the second one. My confidence is at rock bottom when I saw that, because I hate the 5 at the back, 3 at the back thing for Everton. Because every time I've tried to, any manager has tried it in the past, it's always been a disaster. Like Allardyce tried it away at Arsenal, Silva's tried it away at Man City. I think Koeman tried it away at Liverpool a few years ago, and we always just get absolutely trounced because the players aren't comfortable in it because they don't know, especially the the centre backs and the defenders. They don't know where they're meant to be. All the positioning's off because we don't play that way normally. I don't blame him for doing it given the injuries. I thought, well, there's no way we're going to line up as we usually do because even the emergency options in centre midfield were injured, like the likes of Beningame. So I did think he was going to. I just didn't think it was going to work. And it did work for about 60 minutes. Like it worked better than I've seen us do it before ever. But as I say, it just didn't last, did it? It so as the players got tired, they sort of started losing their battles and their discipline. And I also thought it would be what we went with in this game because it's probably what we're going to go with in the next game because the only team who took any points off Liverpool so far in the league was Man United, and they had a 3 at the back. So I think that may be what a lot of teams try and do against Liverpool now because they saw that it worked for somebody. Whether it'll work for us, I don't know. But even if we change the personnel in centre midfield, which probably will, we're probably still going to roll with that for the next game.
I'll be honest. When I saw it, I did a double take because for some reason when we were doing match preview, didn't even occur to me. Didn't even think that because he just hasn't done anything that drastic. But when I look at the personnel, I feel like it works. Having that extra player in the back to cover for the fact that you don't have a true defensive center mid in there. Like there's not a true one in there. So yeah, put that extra player back. Immediately I thought, okay, this could be okay. And then I saw us kind of, when we were compact, Leicester was having trouble finding openings, creating chances. I feel like the commentator actually, even during the second half, mentioned that. Leicester can't find an opening. And it's because it was when we were compact. But it was when we got caught with our guys going forward in the second half. They made some adjustments. Bringing Iheanacho in helped them out a lot. It seemed like it was a pretty drastic change once you saw them start kind of flying forward a little bit more. And I got to be honest, something that really frustrates me every time we play Leicester, Jamie Vardy breaking behind the line. I feel like it's every time he scores. Every single time. The person who is on that far side, who knows he's either going to be cutting behind, why do you not know he's there? Why are you not constantly thinking about where he is? That pissed me off because I feel like that's just what he does. They cross the ball slightly behind defenders and he does that little cut behind, and he just knocks it in, and he's anticipating really well. But that's mainly how he's scoring goals, and that's what he kept doing in the first half. But they had a lot more trouble then. But our Marco's hesitation to adjust when they started getting chances, to me, is what annoyed me the most about yesterday's game. All right, it took him too long to adjust. And he had to have seen that gap between our center mids and our backs, which is one of the reasons why we started to get overrun. He had to have seen that. He just adjusted too late because I think he was thinking, nope, this gives us the best chance to win. Nope, we've been holding them off. And he just waited too long. That's my opinion. All right? I don't know. But the second half adjustments by Silva. Let's talk about those. Dave, he throws in Moise Kean, he throws in Schneiderlin. What do you think about those? Essentially,
I didn't think they were particularly bad substitutions. I just think he made the substitutions with the wrong people coming off. I'd have kept Iwobi in the middle. Tom Davies was starting to look tired, and you could see that, and that showed in the 2 goals. That you go back to it, and you're almost saying, well, Davies was very wasteful. He was a fault for both goals. And you just think, well, if you bring Davies out of the game, put Schneiderlin in place and put Iwobi into the middle, then you've got those players. You've rejigged your team. and your fresh legs again, and it will be going through in the middle, and it will be seem to be the one making the difference in moving the ball forwards, linking up well with Sidibe, and taking him off was just like, well, that's just nullified Sidibe now. Sidibe's got to take a step back, and he almost shot himself in the foot with it. That it was that easily that we could all see it. Now Davis is the one to come off. No, he's made the change again, and that goes back to last week against Norwich. Odd substitutions, bringing on. I mean, last week it was like for like with Coleman. This week wasn't like for like, obviously, but it was the wrong switch. The wrong person came off the pitch at the time. I mean, I was made up the Moise Keane come on, because you almost looked like he needed longer. He probably 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. Probably would have made the difference. Might have got a goal. His confidence was getting up. He had a couple of good shots. Put that shot on the side net and against Schmeichel. That was instinctive. And Calvert-Lewin hadn't done that all game. And so, and that, as you're saying, Gerry, it's making the decisions at the wrong time, but also making the decisions for the wrong reasons and the wrong players coming in.
I think that's a great point about Iwobi. Just the idea of giving us a different center attacking presence that shifts gears. That's the thing. That's the benefit of starting either Iwobi or Sigurdsson at center attacking mid and then flip-flopping them, because they're so drastically different in the way they attack, in the way they play. I was actually glad he put in Schneiderlin, which I didn't know I was going to be saying that, eh? But yeah, I was glad he put him in there, because I was hoping he was going to kind of settle in and plug that hole a little bit more. Terry, what were you thinking about some of the adjustments? And did you feel like they were like what Dave was saying, the idea of it, they were too late and maybe not the exact adjustments that needed to happen?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know why he didn't bring Sigurdsson on at any point in the game. Would have been nice to have seen him. He could have added something to the centre midfield, I think.
Damn it, Terry, your straight face. The part of me in the very beginning, as soon as you said that, was like, no, he was there. Oh.
That witty English sarcasm.
Yeah. it's just straight-faced, man. So straight-faced. Yeah. It's well done.
Tom Davis was starting to lose possession more and more. I don't know whether it was the tiredness or the pressure, but I'm sorry, a better manager sees that and takes him off. The actual personnel he brought on were fine, but the people he took off, as Dave said, were just it was stupid. It was the in-game management has let him down again. Schneiderlin, I was like you, Gerry. I couldn't believe myself being happy to see Schneiderlin coming off the bench just because we had no other midfield options. When he was past fit, I was like, you know what? I'm actually glad, after the worst game I've probably seen him play as well at Norwich, that I still want Schneiderlin to play, because the options are so limited otherwise. But yeah, the in-game management is the big thing, isn't it? I mean, I think everyone who's been paying attention knew when that game was going, we're going to lose here. We're going to lose, because you can feel it coming, and it's always the way. Sidibe had a really good game, but I'm sorry, I knew when he was lying on the floor that we were going to lose, because I just thought, no, if what we tend to do when we time waste like that is that everything goes out to the other players because of the stoppage, so they all get really flat and then are caught cold straight away by the opposition, and it's exactly what happened. Like, we did it last year away at Anfield, ironically, when Idrissa Gueye sat down on the floor and added that extra 30 seconds to a minute on to the end. It's actually hurting the team, because everyone stops while the players rolling around and on the floor, and then they're not ready. Whereas if they didn't do that, the game would be over in a matter of in a minute. But they whack extra time on, and the club don't help themselves, the team don't help themselves. But Jesus Christ, we are unlucky. Honest to God, we don't need a new manager, mate. We need an exorcist. We need someone to take this curse off the club. Because we conceded the most stoppage time goals this season, and you just every single year it's the same. We're always bemoaning these type of defeats and these last second goals conceded, and I know we're not touching on to Liverpool yet, but I feel like we're the bizarro component, the opposite component to Liverpool. Whereas, take nothing away from them, they are a fantastic team. They've built a brilliant team, and they're really strong and they're really good. But they are lucky. When they need luck, they get it, and we're the opposite. We get bad luck no matter what. Everyone went into this Leicester game thinking we're not going to get anything here. So the universe, the football, ether decided these are all expecting to lose. So how can we make them lose but make them care about losing? I know, we'll make them think they're going to get something and then they'll lose. It's like these are all far too prepared to lose here. So what we'll do is we'll just trick them into thinking they're not going to lose, and then they will, and we'll twist that knife because they'll lose in the last second, and then we'll do a VAR check, which is never a VAR check, and then Jamie Carragher can cheer and be really happy that the team he professed to want to support have lost the game in the 95th minute, and not a word can be said about it. Brilliant. Sorry guys. I'm just excited there. I do apologise, but I'm still a little bit sick to the stomach about that result, because I just knew I was watching the game and I was just when you're not even sitting down anymore, you're standing up, like, because the nerves have got to you. It was like, we can't get through this game having worked so hard and get nothing. And then I knew when Sidibe was rolling around going, he is adding the time that these are going to use to score onto this end, because we got the least football savvy team I've ever seen. We actually, instead of running the clock down, we give the opposition extra stoppage time to hurt us, and it's cost us, I think, 4 times this season. It's just ridiculous.
It's what I said before, Terry. We don't know how to time waste properly. You watch Norwich last week, and they were literally time wasting from 35 minutes on.
Yeah.
But they were doing it effectively, and they were doing it at the right times. Yerry Mina gets pinched in the belly and goes down like a sack of shit. Mate, you don't need to do that right now. That is not going to work. The referee was shite anyway, and he wasn't going to give anything as silly as that. I think the only thing they actually managed to get right was the VAR kick on Cresswell, and he didn't even book him. So if he's not going to book it, he's not going to book him for the dive, then he's certainly not going to book him for the tickle on your belly.
Mason Holgate is one lucky boy, by the way, with that. He should have really give away a penalty there, because he doesn't he's swung at it, and he's so lucky that he hasn't connected. He hasn't. It's not a penalty, fair, but if
you'd have connected him, you'd put Cresswell in the stand.
Yeah, he honestly.
Well, see, I don't even understand. I'm surprised we got that at all. I feel like if we were playing a different team, one of the historically bigger programs, I think they give that penalty.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a makeup call for us.
If that's on Paul Pogba, that's getting given.
I felt that at the time. I thought this won't get given because of the Brighton goal. I thought they're gonna try and
make up, just like I said,
make us even with that, so we can't complain about it anymore.
So later on, it's not as bad.
But
exactly.
Honestly, though, it's just I've had people saying to me on Twitter, like, you make your own luck and so on and so forth. Yeah, we are a poor team with a poor manager, and then we don't help ourselves, but sometimes we're just unlucky as well. I mean, come on, like. How did we know that we were, I think everyone had a gut feeling we're still going to lose this game. Even when it was like one kick left, we just knew. And that's because we know how unlucky we are. We don't know how it's going to happen. We just know it's going to.
Yeah, I got to be honest. When I think about we don't have a lot of shithousing players. You know what I mean? Like the whole idea, the time wasting and everything like that. I think that starts from Marco and works its way down. I feel like he's almost naive. No, not almost. He's naive, all right, about a lot of stuff. So the idea of when we start, it's not cohesive time wasting. It's not like, hey, we need to, it's just certain individuals taking matters into their hands. And I feel like Marco would be like, no, we don't, obviously, Pickford walked to go take a kick. I don't think he talks about it. I think he's more he's doing the way he should do things. Should. You know what I mean? And I put it in quotes because that's the way, you know, when I was a coach back in the day, my kids, you know, the ball would go out there and we have a lead. I'm like, no, run after it. I don't want to win that way. Now, do you think I think like that?
Honestly.
No, I'm older and I realize that's sort of just the competition. You go get it if you can. You know?
If you're clearing the throw-in when you're playing kids in the field and you're 1-0 up and it's 89 minutes, you hit it into the friggin' street. You hit it down the road, so it's going on the dual carriageway. You hit it as hard as you can, or onto the next pitch. Just get rid. It's that kind of thing.
See, that's the thing, and that's the thing. I was a young coach, naive, trying to do things the right way. You know what I mean? When perspective shifts when it comes to the right way. You know what I mean? Depending on the situation.
It's just we're actually worse for the time wasting though, because we go really flat when the time's being wasted, so we get caught out all the time. So we'd actually be better keeping the game flowing while the concentration's on, because we always concede when we've been wasting time, because everyone's been standing around allowing themselves to deflate a little bit, and then we're not ready for when the attack comes. But if we don't waste the time and then the same attack comes, then we deal with it. We deal with it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And that's it, the game's over, but you'd add that extra time on. That's what I thought of. I've already said it, but I thought of the Anfield derby last year, Pickford's mistake. That comes because Garner Gay was sitting on the floor for too long, and it added that extra time. Because honestly, I don't think that passage of play and, you know, all the, you know, that led to the goal, the Van Dijk slice of the ball and stuff, doesn't happen if he's sitting down. It's the same way, you know, Leicester don't get the time to score that goal.
I think we surprised ourselves with how much time was added on. Because he was lying down for what, good 30 seconds to nearly a minute while Leicester played on. The ball got cleared out into touch, and then it was like another minute and a half, and he wouldn't go off the pitch. It's like the game stopped now. Get on the fucking pitch, and then we can get on with it.
It's not effective. Time wasting anyway though, because when it's like that and it's really petulant and it's really obvious, the referees add the time on because they don't like it. They go, you're taking the piss, so we're going to add this time on. Effective time wasting is like when you know, if we'd have got a throw in, we're taking ages to throw it, and little things like that. Gain yourself an extra 5-10 seconds. Don't try and grab a full minute and a half, because they're going to get pissed off and go, no, we're adding that on. But if you're slow with a throw in, slow with a goal kick, that actually adds up. But we that's just basics, and we just don't get it. The players are just brain dead. They honestly don't know what they're doing when it comes to managing games. I don't know whether that's the players or the manager or both or what, but whatever it is, it needs to be sorted out.
So I would say that's kind of a secondary issue that Everton has to deal with in that game. I'd say the biggest issue is the lack of a counter for Marco Silva when it comes to, they've adjusted and they figured out how to get behind your defense. They figured out how to start getting more chances. You have to tweak your formation, you have to tweak your lineup, and you've got to do it earlier. You've got to see that. That, to me, is the number one issue that Everton had in that game, more than anything else. Like, it would have been great if we figured out how to waste time a little better, but I still don't. I think we win that game if we make earlier changes, if we adjust to their adjustment. You see it happening. You know it's happening, but you don't wait. You don't wait till they score to make the change. You see, you know, you see the ebb of the game. You see the way it's flowing. Adjust. That, to me, is the thing. Like, luck, I do feel like if you believe in luck, whatever, yes, Everton are super damn unlucky. But we really created a lot of our own luck by making silly decisions or not making decisions. You know? And I got to be honest, like, before this game, because I heard that Dennis Adnaran, I think that's his name, had traveled with the team, and I was thinking, that could be interesting. You know, that could be. This is before I realized Schneiderlin was fit. But I was thinking that could be interesting. A player with a little more athleticism, you know, to throw in the back. Because honestly, I'm looking at what, and then he didn't make the bench. So yeah, but it's an issue to me. I can't blame this whole game on Tom Davies, because you got to take him out. A lot of people want to point to Tom and say, no. And the goal that Keane almost scored, that magnificent first-time shot that he took that almost went in, Tom Davies made that happen. That run up the side, a lot of quick passes, and you think he's going to fall, and he doesn't. He makes the pass. It's a really good run. And that doesn't happen without him. So that continually tells me what we've said on this program a lot, which is he's more of an attacking-minded player.
I think the end, Tom was trying to do too much and overcompensate.
Yes,
he was
totally
overcompensating for everyone in the end. Even trying to do the work of Schneiderlin, which is what wore him down again, because he's trying to play that. As you said, he's not a defensive midfielder, but he's trying to play that defensive role whilst keeping the ball moving.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the fact that we've never replaced Idrissa Gana Gueye. Again, we can go back and we can unravel the whole thing. It's about, Davis. If Idrissa Gana Gueye is in this side, if again we've lost Gbamin, we've lost Gomez to injuries, but those two players fit are probably your first choice, but Davis is now having to become that first choice midfielder because the midfield is picking itself at the moment. So probably if those players are fit and we've got players available, Davis doesn't come into that equation as much. He's probably that substitution for maybe Schneiderlin or for Gomez or for Gbamin and coming in for those last 30 minutes rather than having to orchestrate the whole game, and that's what he's had to do, and he's been knackered. You get tired, you switch off, mistakes are made, but there's all Tom Davis in that midfield. Even though for that pass, the midfield just disappeared for Iheanacho for that second goal.
Yep.
So and even the defence went forward and went, oh shit, we're gonna have to go back here, we're gonna have to track him back. But there's no reaction, there's no urgency, even in the midfield, to just go, right, clean him out. I know Sigurdsson's on a yellow, but Schneiderlin's not. Go and clean him out. The little in-game management that isn't working for Everton. You said it before, Terry. Is ineffectiveness to manage the players, and he should have been saying to Tom, just slow it down now. We're in a comfortable position, even at 1-1. Go and listen. I'm going to bring on forwards. I'm going to get a bit more attack minded. You don't have to do the work of three players, which is what he almost was effectively having to do. It won't be going off the work that he was doing, and almost Schneiderlin's work as an attack as well. It was just you can blame Davis for that, but I also think Silva's got to take a lot of the flack for not organising that midfield better. And one of the disappointments that I have with yesterday is putting Bernard on at 90 odd minutes. And that it's like if he's on the bench, he's available and fit to play, and because he's made Luca Dean what Luca Dean has been for the last year, and this season he hasn't been the same without Bernard on that left hand side. I think we've seen a very different Luca Dean, and you can see like these little things. I know he's been injured, and again, but it all goes back to that midfield not being a proper midfield. Sorry, I probably rambled a little bit there, but it's just like that midfield, the whole thing. You can't blame Davis for yesterday, not at all.
No. And Dave, just to let you know, at this point, every single one of us is going to ramble at some point. I think it's our right.
That's what I think.
That's it is, you go. Just go, do your thing. Terry's going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'll be less coherent. It's okay. We'll get there. In the end, we will get there. Plus, I like listening to a good rant. For me, it's like it's been pent up for a while, and I haven't been able to tell anybody except for my family. I'm sitting there lecturing my 6-year-old or my 7-year-old. Be like, you see that? Why would he put him on now? That makes no sense. And Bennett's just like, you're right, Dad. Oh my gosh.
My wife said to me, you can't hear you. I said, but they should. They should fucking hear me. They should listen to what I've got to say here. They should watch Falcon Blues TV and they should watch Toffee Blues podcast and everything else. Because I've got something to say.
All right. So, we've almost done 30 minutes on this, guys. So, anything else we feel like we need to say on this one? I mean, I have some other questions. I just don't really, I'm not sure if we're going to elicit a whole lot of different responses based on what we've gotten so far. So I'll leave this open. Terry, anything else you need to say about this one?
No, probably a million things, but they're all the same vein, so no.
Dave, anything? You good?
This has been a good therapy session, Doctor. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey. Show me where it hurts, guys. All right. So I guess that's it for this extra time segment. Yeah, we are broken men. We'll see what happens. So anyway, if you've been digging the videos, please subscribe to the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We sincerely appreciate it. You can also subscribe to Falcon Blues and Grand Old Team, where you can see Dave. Dave's all over. You can also follow him on the Twitters. He'll tell you where he's going to be. His details are down below. If you want more Terry, get in line. All right? Take a number. He's available for hugs and very respectful cheek kisses. Check his Twitter. He'll let you know where he's going to be. Liverpool Echo fan Gerry, and just standing outside your house, but not in a weird way. All right, guys, I think that's it. We're going to move on and talk about match preview, Merseyside Derby. So come on back for the next section. Yeah, this is our life right now. All right, guys, bye.